everyone? How you doing? Welcome back to the FLA Exposure Podcast, episode 214, brought to you by our good friends at Coldstream Clear Distillery. Check them out online at coldstreamclear.com. 3 locations in Nova Scotia: Stewiacke, Dartmouth, and Antigonish. John, how you doing?
Doing great, man. Good to see you.
Awesome. Happy New Year, everyone. And
yeah.
Welcome back. Super excited to get into a new year here, 2024. Very excited to, in the next couple of weeks, we have some major announcements to drop to our fans, which is very, very exciting. Stuff that we've been working on for a long time. And big year ahead. But we just wanted to chat now, kind of go over a 2023 recap and discuss all of our past events. So, I guess we'll get right into it, John. And FLA 7, we started off the year with Mr. Savoie versus Dorian Dokai. Cam Nelson, same card. Sam Reno, same card. Drake Farrell, phenomenal card.
It was a huge card, yeah. We really opened up the year with a great one last year and set the tone for the whole year, right? And yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, start the year off the Coliseum, end the year off the Coliseum. And it was awesome.
Yeah, that's true. It really did set the year off, and I think that's important too, right? Like you're
I think so too.
The year off in the right foot. So I agree. And then FLA 8, we followed up again, right? The Coliseum. Terry Lemaire came down. Justin Conde, it was like Team Ontario.
Yeah,
came down. Gavin Costa, like you said, and that was a phenomenal event too. Who else was on that card?
That was Zach Raymond was on that card.
Morgan.
I don't remember.
It's Morgan,
obviously. Yeah.
So many events they did.
Let me pull up the website. You're going to start asking me questions like that.
Yeah. Obviously, then after that, we headed over to Windsor, your home church in
First show in Windsor.
Yeah. Drake Farrell, main event versus Matt McDonald in a hell of a fight.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was great being in Windsor. You know what I mean? Like everyone around the valley still talks about it. You know, a bunch of people that were there, obviously, and it was great. Be close to home, and it was a killer show.
It was, great venue. They were great to work with, and all of our venue partners are fantastic to work with. Shout out to them, whether it's in Moncton, Sackville, the Valley, Pictou, all these different venues. They've been phenomenal to work with. So thank you very much. And then obviously,
Windsor, back to Sackville, New Brunswick again.
Yeah, number 10. That was a big show that went up in flames real quick.
Yeah, that felt like 10. I mean, we really had a lot of high-level talent and pro fights lined up, and then one pro fighter doesn't make it on the plane, one pro fighter quits on the scale, and next thing you know, your card's knocked down a little bit. But everyone that did fight and stuck around put on an awesome show, and moved it on to the next one basically. And we went back to Pictou in the fall and got the Kumite going again, which was amazing. And that was a big thing last year. I think for me, just to see how well the Kumite did. You know what I mean? Like we were running them during COVID, and we couldn't really do MMA, so to do the back-to-back events was awesome. And if you don't know already, like that's something we're continuing this year. So it's fantastic. So the Kumite is back in a big way, and these double event weekends, man. I mean, it was great. It was a good experiment, and it ended up for just a fantastic weekend. I think the Pictou show is definitely a highlight for me of the whole year, man. It's just the atmosphere and how everything went. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's. But before we get back, that's really I love hearing all that because before we get back onto that, FLA 12 finished the year strong. Obviously, back in Moncton, like you said, started and finished the year in Moncton. Hell of a venue, great people to work with down at that venue.
And, yeah.
Well, shout out to the New Brunswick Combat Sports Commission and the Nova Scotia Combat Sports Authority, who keeping the athletes safe and doing everything by the book to keep the show running in the right way.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you guys. But yeah, that double event weekend, John, was that's what's cool about this is you're always trying to, like athletes or whatever, you're trying new things and you're trying to grow and you're trying to get better as a company and challenge yourself. And that was it was certainly a big challenge, but it was a vibe, like you said. It's jiu-jitsu events, like they're for us, they're so much different. Like for me, like it's almost like it's like hosting a kid's birthday party or something. It's like it's a different. There's not as much
Yeah.
pressure at all.
There's not as much pressure, you know, I mean, yeah, there's a different crowd. No one's getting knocked out, you know, it's,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. I mean, it's,
Yeah, more-
you know, I don't wanna say it's, you know, it is smaller scale. There's less moving parts, but, you know, definitely helps and, you know, we're able to kinda do our own thing with the grappling events as well, right? We don't have so many stipulations to follow, so
Mhm.
no, it was fantastic, and it was, you know, it did what it should do, and gave all these other guys that maybe aren't old enough or aren't into fighting MMA a chance to get, you know, a little shine and get their face out there and build their brand, and then some of the MMA guys get to do the same thing, come over and just kind of, you know, get some more competition experience, get their face out there, and
Well,
yeah, it's been a catalyst for so many of our athletes, right? So
100%. Like again, like shout out to Sarah Wilson. Like we were just speaking about her. No one used the platform better. Like and John and I kind of speak about this a little bit before. Like our platform we have here on the East Coast is world class. Don't look past Fight League Atlantic and think that there's other platforms that are better and going to give you more opportunities because we're working our ass off to give you these opportunities, and we've been doing this a long time, and we're just getting started. So don't look past us.
yeah,
That's a little bit of a heads up. Um, but like Sarah went out there, EBI killed it, and having that footage and having all that experience out there and represent yourself the way that she did, that's
hmm
what it's about, and that's how you get on these platforms. It's not just whining and complaining. The hard work and going out there and showing
yeah.
what you did.
Put on an awesome performance with the Kumite, and next thing you know, she's on EBI. Like,
Yeah,
boom.
yeah. So
No,
it's
it's fantastic, and you know, I mean, we do our best, obviously, to represent these guys and girls in the best way possible. Like the footage that comes out, the media that comes out beforehand and after. You know, we're doing everything we can to give you the greatest exposure as well. Like our goal is to push everybody into the UFC. You know, or a large organization. If you want to have a career, well, we're going to get you started on the right foot. Like if any
yeah,
of you guys were fighting amateur around here 10, 15 years ago, it was nothing. There is no footage. There was no pay per view. There was no
yeah.
media. There was no social media. There was nothing. So you had to fight
That's
30
great deal.
times to get the exposure you're getting in one fight now. It's insane.
Yeah, with all free gear to keep. You're fighting
Yeah.
3 times a year, getting 3 free sets of gear, and it's crazy, man. So it's there's our little vent, I guess, moving
hmm
forward. But overall, a fantastic year. Thanks to all of our sponsors who've been, our sponsors. They've been there since the beginning. A lot of them, and continuing to stick with us, which shows you something. Our sponsors
hmm
aren't evolving all the time. They're the same sponsors who stick by us and really want to see our brand succeed because they love what we're doing. They love being involved in what we're doing and seeing the brands grow. So, to all of our brands who are supporters, we can't say enough. So thank you to our staff, athletes, teams, coaches, everybody who's involved. It's an important thing that we all work together, and that's how this grows. So we love you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's it too, right? Like we've done 17 shows together now. It's a lot. You
Yeah,
know, it's not day one. So
no,
yeah, man, I mean, that's just it. Every year, every show, just grow, learn some things, you know, push things forward.
yeah.
Um,
Cheers,
yeah,
cheers.
man.
Cheers. Good work on the camera this year, buddy. Um,
Absolutely.
and
All
then
right, dude.
we finished off our year with some pro signings, which was awesome. So
Yeah,
we're good with that.
exactly. Building our pro lineup, and you know, the guys that we have signed are our priority, obviously. Like we sign those contracts too, right? It goes both ways. Like we're obligated now to make sure you get some fights. Thanks, buddy. And you know, the guys we sign, obviously, like we're trying to push them as far as we possibly can in the fights we get. And you know, if we sign a multi-fight deal with you, then you know you're our guy. You're who we're trying to push to the next level and get the fights. So yeah, it's been fantastic, and the guys that have trusted us to sign with us, you know, thank you. And you know, I think for everybody, it's working out both ways. So
Yeah, I agree. I
keep
agree.
her going, you know, and you know, with a great year, we finally had a full year. No hurricanes, no pandemics.
Yeah.
and you know, it was finally a year to do year-end awards, and you know, that was a fun process for me. I mean, we put out nominations, and everyone online nominated their favorite fighters for each category, and then we took those nominations and put them up on the website, and had our voting run for, what was it, 2 or 3 weeks there, which ended at midnight on New Year's, and you know, we had about 1,000 people vote in on this. So hey, buddy, absolutely happy New Year, Dylan, buddy. So yeah, it was huge to see that response to that, and you know, I mean, I think these accolades are great for the fighters. Like, these guys go out and put it on the line as well, and it's nice to have a little recognition, especially when that recognition is coming from directly from the fan base. It's not something we decided in house. It was decided by the fans and the teams of these guys, and you know, so yeah, pretty exciting. You want
That's
to get
what's
into
cool
it?
about it. I liked it a lot because it was good that way. Like it,
Hmm.
it was all based on our fans deciding, which is cool because the brand's growing and the fans are realize following their athletes and the athletes are growing. It's all growing together and it's that snowball
Hmm.
effect. So good job to everybody who worked on this project.
Yeah.
Thanks, Aaron. Happy New Year.
Awesome. All right, man. Well, you want to get into it? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. So, like I just said, right? Everyone was nominated online by the fans, the people on social media. We took the top three nominations and we voted on them. Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to start with Breakout Fighter of the Year. The nominees were Dylan Benjamin, uh, who I thought, you know, this guy got a lot of nominations. Fought once and lost a decision, but he's just that great of a character, and a great fighter, and a lot of people behind him. Yeah.
Well,
So
he's fought a
Dylan,
few times in other promotions, so he's like got
yeah,
that.
some kickboxing, exactly. So yeah, Dylan Benjamin was a nominee, Ben Leese and Sam Reno. Um, so this was, I'm not even going to say the runner-up on this one, because it was very close between Sam and Ben. And the breakout fight of the year, and black, no, was Sam Reno. So Sam Reno
Hey,
took breakout fight of the year. I mean, the guy,
awesome.
you know, this kid goes 3-0 in the promotion, dominates everybody, finishes everybody. Um, well deserved, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for sure.
And Ben Lee scores. Everyone knows who Ben is. It was very close. I mean, out of hundreds of votes, it was within like 15 votes.
So
So
you did say the runner-up, I guess.
I didn't say it first though. I was gonna say it beforehand, but everyone would know who won then, right?
Congrats, Sam. Congrats to all three of those guys.
Hmm.
Again, like Ben Lee's hell of a character, hell of a performance, and Sam Reno, awesome performances. He's just getting better every time. And Dylan shows up with the cupcakes, and just a great kid all around. So awesome, love
Yeah.
it. Great job,
So yeah, breakout fight of the year, Sam Reno.
awesome.
Um, so that was very cool. Next category, comeback of the year. So the comeback of the year, everybody nominated, um, had a loss, a tough loss, and came back and won, and just showed that grit and determination to come off a loss and come back, and again nominated by the fans out there. The nominations were Rory Gillis, Dawson Sampson. Rory coming off a loss to Drake, and then came back, won a couple fights in the title. Dawson Sampson came off a hard knockout in 2022. Um, has an awesome fight against Jesse and takes a win. And Chris Beck, he got caught quick and came back and had a fantastic performance against Dylan Benjamin. So the runner up for this one was Dawson Sampson, and the winner by a bit of a landslide was Rory Gillis. So the comeback of the year, Rory Gillis.
Rory Gillis.
So
I forgot my
yeah.
drummer. Shit. Awesome job.
Yeah. So
Awesome.
Rory, I feel like this was well deserved, and really exemplified comeback and grit and determination, and just a will to overcome, man. So I was very,
Listen, I'm not going out on a limb here. I never say my favorite fighter because every time I say, "Oh, he's a wonderful
Oh
guy,"
man.
back to bite me because people go, "Oh, I'm not your favorite fighter," whatever. But
Yeah.
let me tell you, I'm not talking fighter or anything. But when it comes to, uh, I look at my coaches, Jared McIntosh and Jason Rorson, as just wonderful, wonderful, good men who lead by example and do things the right way. And Rory Gillis is that kind of man, and that's the kind of man that I love. So shout out to Rory Gillis. Great job.
Shout out to Rory, buddy. All right. Let's go fight of the year. So the fight of the year nominations were Dawson Sampson versus Jesse Offer.
Great
Right?
fighters.
Very great fight. Very exciting. Drake Farrell versus Rory Gillis from the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I feel like so.
And yeah, and Cam Nelson versus Christian Tremaine on the last card of the year.
Great
This
fight.
one was close between all three fights. And the winner was 5 votes more than the runner-up. The runner-up was Drake versus Rory, and the fight of the year winner, which was an absolute banger, was Cam Nelson and Christian Tremaine, who
Awesome.
both laid it on the line and were completely spent. I think I mentioned on the podcast before, like I visited both these guys out back after the card was over, and they were both like toast. They were completely exhausted. They left it all in there. So Cam and Christian, fight of the year, FLA
Awesome.
12. So
Very cool.
awesome fight. Yeah,
Yeah,
very cool, very high level. And, again, it was Cam going up against a guy with a lot more experience. But, he just showed why he's so popular and why he's one of the best guys around. And Christian Tremaine showed why he was there in the main event and why he came
yeah,
across the country to fight the up and comer. So awesome. And
yeah.
we'll see Christian and coming up again soon. So he's going to main event again, man. He earned his shot at Christian Savoy. So huge main event coming up now in the third.
Yeah.
All right, Gym of the Year, the club that came out on top. So the nominees for this, and I thought one thing I thought was cool about this. I'll say it after. Renzo Gracie PI was a nominee. Tower One was a nominee, and Evolution Training Center was a nominee. And what I thought was cool about that is a club was nominated in New Brunswick, a club in Nova Scotia, and a club in PEI.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought that
cool.
was kind of cool the way that worked out, right?
Yeah,
Obviously, multiple gyms in each province, and
yeah.
one from each province stood out, right?
Well, that's good that it worked out that way, actually.
Yeah, I thought that was great. So, um, okay, it was the runner up for Gym of the Year was the Evolution Training Center up in Fredericton. Andy, Rory, Ben Lease, all those guys, Devin Turner,
Great year.
just a group of killers, right? The Gym of the Year, the winner, Tower One. Tower One, dominant,
Great year.
tons of fights on the year, and I'm sure lots of fights this year coming up, and yeah, we're gonna we'll see growth in all these gyms. I have no question. I've got a lot of guys coming in, a lot of fresh
Mhm.
guys that are gonna be ready to fight soon. So yeah, Tower One takes Gym of the Year.
Hmm. Interesting. Lot
Yeah,
man, all three of those. Like, if you're looking at like all, and well, Tower One I don't know when Tower One started. Maybe
I think
2022.
2 years now, maybe.
Maybe a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. And Renzo Gracie not much older. Andy Evolution's been around quite a bit longer. But like the growth rate there to is, and that takes again teamwork, working as a team, supporting one another, showing up when you're not fighting for the other people who are. All these things that go into it. So, shout
Hmm.
out to Tower One. Great job supporting one another. Shout out to Evolution. Shout out to Renzo Gracie. There's no
Yeah, man.
losers. You all did a great job, and so we should very proud of
Yeah,
yourself.
and all these gyms have coaches that put a lot into it, man. Like
Yeah.
their time and their energy and their expertise. So um,
A lot of people
yeah,
don't
man.
understand that. Like, you see these
Yeah.
coaches at the events, and they're giving advice and stuff, but you don't understand that these coaches, like, they're on these mats 2 or 3 times a day, like, answering texts from the students, answering questions, helping them with their weight cuts, like scheduling media. It's a lot that the coaches do. So we didn't do a coach of the year, but great job to all these guys and all the coaches involved.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like Gym of the Year, Coach of the Year, like it's it's probably going to be the same thing. So all right, the big one, Fighter of the Year. The FLA Fighter of the Year 2023. Okay, the nominees were Jake Cunningham, Christian Savoy, and Abdelaziz. Abdel, dominant, wins all his fights.
3-0? 3-0, right?
2-0 or 3-0. I think it was 3-0, maybe with an amateur, and then he went 2-0 as a pro to start off that.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
I'll have to look at
it. Jake Cunningham, obviously, I mean, he had a great performance in 2022. This year he comes out, knocks out Rob in quick fashion. Jake's been, just he's been fighting forever and he's been moving up. And then Christian Savoy, right, had a really tough fight in FLA 7 coming off a 2-year layoff, and then a quick knockout finish to end the year off and set up his 2024 in a big way. The runner-up, and there was hundreds of votes on Fighter of the Year. Like this was the one that got the most votes at every category. It's like 1,000 votes. The runner-up was Abdelaziz. The runner-up.
Well, the Mummy.
2-0.
By the way, we thought he was 3-0 because our good friend in FLA 9 who pulled out at weigh-in. So
yes, that's right.
Would have been 3-0 probably.
Yeah, we had a hard time getting him that first pro fight, man. So, I'm glad it worked out. And
I would do all the kudos, but kudos to Abdel. Love the guy.
Super good. Always shows up, always ready to go. Awesome. So Abdelaziz, the runner-up for Fighter of the Year. And this one, between these three guys, it moved around a bit. I was watching as the voting was happening, and it did shift around. And second and third place ended up being really close. First place ended up running away with it a little bit in the end. In the end, he did. And the Fighter of the Year for FLA, Jake Cunningham.
Oh, shit. Cunningham.
Jake Cunningham is voted the FLA Fighter of the Year by the fans. And, he pulled well ahead in the last bit. And, yeah, man, he took it. So,
awesome.
I got graphics ready to go for all these guys. We're going to post up, and we'll get you guys something made up. You can put up on the wall of your gym or whatever. And,
awesome. That's wicked.
So that's our first FLA Awards 2023. And then, next year we'll do the same thing. And keep this in mind, guys, when you're out there. Let's stack some accolades.
And maybe next year we'll get a proper drum roll.
Yeah, we'll get a drum machine.
Yeah, a drum machine. We'll get Cletus on the drums over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's good. It's at the end of the day, like you said, John, it's nice to be
recognized.
Recognized. That's the word I'm looking for. Exactly, for something. All these athletes, we often overlook it, myself included, of how amazing what everything looks like sometimes out here in our production and the small area that we are. You expect this in bigger places like Toronto and BC and Alberta and these places, Montreal, that, it's like that. But in Nova Scotia, it's never been like that in the Maritimes. So what we're doing right now is crazy. And to see the level of talent match it, like the production can be great, but if your fights suck, doesn't matter. But everything is on par. Our production's amazing. Our amateur fights are incredible. Our pro fights it's all amazing together. And everybody on the whole East Coast, from fans who show up, everybody should be damn well proud of what we have building out here. And the future's just getting started. Couldn't be excited for 2024 and what we got to announce in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And that's just it. Like, everybody involved, from the people showing up to the people working on the actual show. We set out to do this in 2019, I guess. We started the wheels turning. You just never really know, right? And what it's grown into has just been absolutely fantastic. And, being able to do things like this and have fan engagement just shows that people are supportive. And that's really all we need to keep pushing this thing ahead and growing and growing and growing. Like, we both want to grow this as big as we can. And if we want to have a mixed martial arts scene in Atlantic Canada, like, this has to happen. There's not, you're not going to travel every weekend or just have the same opportunities. You don't always want to be the guy being brought in to fight the local guy. So, Yeah, I mean, these cards we got coming up are going to be phenomenal, and I'm excited. And
It's
we've had
true.
these guys have had a few fights now, and people know what they're about, and they're starting to get behind their fighters. It's a lot different when everyone's 0-0 and 0-1 like it was a couple of years ago, and yeah, just awesome. It's
Yeah,
motivating.
it's super motivating. It's compared to a lot of times where it's not been very motivating.
It's been super tough. Yeah,
It's
for
been a
sure.
long, like John, and this kind of stuff that we're probably going to document as we move forward a little bit. But our team does an incredible amount of work and a job behind the scenes, and it's just getting bigger and bigger. And yeah, so it's it's fun, but it's stressful, and but like anything in life that requires hard work, you're going to succeed. So thank you, Jennifer. And there's look Sam Reno in that picture.
I was gonna say, is that a little Sam Reno?
Yeah. I would have called him Little Sam Reno back in the day. Now I'm like, nah, I'm good.
It looks like he's younger in that picture. Maybe he's not.
He'll kick the shit out of me.
I've only
Um,
heard Sam's an absolute assassin. So
yeah, he is. He is. But yeah, big things in the works, folks. We're going to release our 2024 schedule probably today at 12 o'clock. If not today, tomorrow morning. But we just have one little thing to tie up before we do finalize that. But everything's booked for 2024. Huge year coming up. And
yeah,
yeah, anything you want to add there, John?
no, I don't think so. I mean, that's pretty much it, man. We're grinding out. Shouldn't say grinding out. We're in the middle of putting together FLA 13. Coming up February 3rd. That's really coming together. We've got a big card plan, and we're just finalizing everything for that, and then already working towards April and June
I don't know
and
how many.
everything else as well, right? So
I think we
Kumite
still
athletes, be ready.
five
What's
fights
that?
announced, maybe 4 or 5 fights left for FLA 13 still to come out.
It's gotta be at least 4 or 5. So
Yeah.
yeah, shaping up
Sam,
to be a
thank you.
killer opener.
Thank you for buying front row seats. Always notice your support there.
Awesome.
Nadia, Happy New Year. Thank you very much for all your support and helping out. I'm from Pakistan. If you'd like to fight in the ring, I have past amateur fighting experience. Get out to a gym. There's a few different gyms in PEI and talk to a coach. One of those coaches will get in touch to us. We'd love to have you.
Yep. Get your medicals done.
Matt McGrath, love you, buddy.
Hey, Matt.
Happy New Year, brother.
Appreciate it, bro.
Congrats to your accomplishments, too. Devin Turner,
Yeah. What's up, Devin?
can't
Mean
wait.
Devin. That's
New Year,
right.
buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, look at all the Happy New Year wishes coming out. Oh,
Hey, the voice. What's up, Craig?
the guy who's been there from the very beginning.
Yeah.
First show.
Yeah. Staple on the East Coast shows, man.
Yep. Great guy. All right, man. Well, there you have it, folks. 2023 awards. Great job to everybody involved. Congratulations. Again, it's all about community. We grow together, we live together, we work together, we support one another, we compete against one another, but we all try to support one another and grow this scene together. So I love you, John. I love you. Any other words? But otherwise, we'll see you in a month.
Yeah. See you guys in a month. I think it's literally 4 weeks tomorrow we leave, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
4 weeks
So,
tomorrow.
wow. Holidays are over. Let's go. I'm
Yeah.
stoked, man. It's to the point now. Like these shows used to be so stressful. Now I get just excited. Like they come together, and I just tell myself, "Look, you've done this. You've done this 12
Oh,
times."
man.
Yeah,
If
that's the best thing I can tell myself almost every day.
100%, man. It's like I don't get the like people say like it gets easier with time. Like for me, last time when FLA 12 those doors opened, I still had a tear coming down my eyes.
Hmm.
Sometimes the emotion is so overwhelming, and then you just got to breathe and
Yeah,
get your shit together. And then someone yells at you, and goes, "Hey!" And then you figure you got to go in a
yeah.
different direction. But with
Look,
no
man,
time, like
Danny's intros kick off. I get goosebumps every single time. Still,
man,
I love it. I
it's
love it. I love being part of it. Whether it's putting it together or it's just being there as a coach or whatever. It's fantastic. So
yeah, we're pretty.
and I like the crowd, man. Honestly, if I could just hang out with fighters all the time, the world would be a simpler place.
Yeah. Brad Davis, Happy New Year, fellas. New Year.
Hey, man.
Got to get you back in there, Brad. Hope you're doing this well.
Absolutely.
What if you're in Newfoundland in a small town with no gym but want to get a fight? You got to get to another town with a gym.
Yeah.
But
Simple as
train
that,
on your
man.
own. Lots of people train on their own to begin. You know, like you can train on your own a couple days, whether it's hitting pads and heavy bags, and make your way to a bigger gym once a week to start. And then
Yeah, man. You don't want to just step into a fight off the street, get your ass kicked.
we
Not a
do
good way to.
do that too. You go get a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, start a jiu-jitsu gym, work with reputable coaches, people who are going to get you, where you want to go, and then reach out to us. That's how it works.
Yeah, man. Do some jiu-jitsu tournaments.
Yeah, wrestling tournament, jiu-jitsu, kickbox, whatever it happens to be, get that experience out there, and judo, whatever it is. So very, very important that you follow the right route if you are looking to fight and do the right thing. So all right, man. We'll see you next week. Next podcast next week, and we're back. Get those tickets, FightLeagueAtlantic.com, and big announcement coming on the 12th. I think it is the 12th. Hold on here. Yeah, the 12th. Big announcement, big contest. So pay attention to that. All right, folks. We'll see you then. Ciao.